I've played my share of Diablo clones in my day, and since I purchased that game way back in January of 1997 and haven't stopped gaming since, that's quite a few. The latest is Torchlight, the new Xbox Live arcade port of the 2009 PC title that has more in common with Diablo than just the few ex-Blizzard employee names gracing the credit screen. Torchlight, a sort of sequel to 2005's Fate, is a total throwback to Blizzard's original demon-slaying dungeon crawler. The plot is basic and barely there, involving a kind of magical ore called Ember that is causing all kinds of bad stuff to happen beneath the village of Torchlight, which represents the game's overworld and only town. It's your job as one of three distinct characters, think Brawler, Ranger, and Mage, despite the more colorful titles assigned to them, to descend beneath Torchlight and put things right by killing every monster you encounter and acquiring massive amounts of loot. Key to any action RPG's success are varied environments, myriad monster types, and ridiculous amounts of cool loot to burden your inventory with. Torchlight has all of these things. The loot, in particular, all but flows your way, and it's rarely useless junk. The simple yet madly addictive process of murdering monsters and pilfering all the cool stuff they were carrying on their person doesn't need to be explained to any old-school Diablo player, so I'll just say this: Torchlight makes putting down the controller quite a difficult experience. The colorful, cartoony art style of Torchlight sets it apart from its overly grim, Blizzard-made grandfather, and overall it just looks and sounds damn good for a game of this type. It doesn't really bring anything new to the table in terms of gameplay, though, aside from letting you whip out a fishing rod and catch fish that you can feed to your Dungeon Siege-inspired pet to temporarily transform it into other creatures. But in all honesty, Torchlight doesn't need to do anything new because what it does extremely well, and it's never frustrating to play. After all, you can send your pet pack mule topside to sell your loot on your behalf, meaning it's possible to play through much of the game without even visiting the town of Torchlight at all. The inventory screen pauses the game, unlike in many similar titles, letting you access your stuff in peace, while spells, abilities, and potions can be quickly activated with the press of a button. Even dying isn't too much of a hassle, since you are given some pretty fair options on how you would like to proceed. As I've said before, there are a few downloadable titles I'd have been content paying full price for, but Torchlight is one. It seems like a steal when you were paying full retail for games like this on last-gen consoles, and you even had to actually leave your house and visit an actual store to buy them. I'd recommend this game with the highest of honors, were it not for one near-fatal flaw: it doesn't have a multiplayer option. No, you can't invite a friend and co-op this one Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance style, which is a real shame. It's the game's only stumbling block, actually, and mars a near-perfect package. Still, having said that, there are few games like this on current generation consoles, and only one other available on Xbox Live Arcade to my knowledge. The well-intentioned but fatally flawed Arcadian Warriors, which gets wrong almost everything Torchlight gets right. So if you aren't looking for something to play with a friend, dive into the dungeons of Torchlight and don't look back.